All right. So we're live and we're being recorded. So, you know, there's that. So at this point, you've renamed those two folders. You've updated those two POM files. I'm actually trying to get to the top of these instructions. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I think from there it makes sense. It was just the renaming thing that was really throwing me through a loop, at least. I'm sure the rest of it might also give me some trouble, but I'm fine giving that an honest try.
Fair enough. Then I'll go ahead and hold here. Jenny, did you have any questions about what's going on in your world? Maybe we can help. I'm not having good luck today.
Well, I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm, so it's getting a little spooky over here. So if I disappear, that's because the lights went out. Anyways, well, I turned in milestone 1 and milestone 2. I couldn't get my stuff to work, but I just turned it into him anyway, so maybe he could like help me.
No.
And then I didn't get a chance to do last week's assignment because I was trying to get milestone 2 ready. So my thing right now is just trying to get caught up. And then I guess I should look to see what is due this week. When is the project completely due? Is it
Next week?
It's next Sunday.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this module 8. Is it just a couple assignments that are due this week, or is it another?
There's
It's a whole nother milestone.
Jesus. Well,
My thoughts exactly.
I talked to my advisor just now before I got on, and I said this. I just told her, I was like, this class is insane. Anyways, I'm just okay. Great, my computer's frozen. Wonderful.
We can still hear you though.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just listen to you guys and come back on the and just but Aaron, can you send me the link to all of these recorded sessions that we're doing?
Yeah. Hold on just a second. So there may or may not have been a YouTube video there. I was having a bad day. I played it. All right. Let's see here.
Wow, is this the milestone? I'm looking at the screen. Your folders?
I believe he has the activity up on the screen.
Are you looking at the activity or the milestone?
I'm looking at whatever is on your screen right now.
Okay, that's me working on the activity.
Oh my.
The 8-1 activity, and it's kicking my butt right now.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you the same thing our instructor would tell me. Use the VDI. I'm not doing that, but it's what he would tell me.
I'm giving it a shot on the VDI as we talk. So if I have a lot of success with it, perhaps it's a worthwhile endeavor to save yourself some effort, and I can let you know about it.
Oh my
Now,
God.
is this activity due tomorrow or due Sunday?
Sunday.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
So, where do we want to go from here? Because I mean, I can sit here and try to hunt down the root cause of this problem with the activity, or I can try to be helpful. I'll put a word, just try.
I mean, for me, the only thing that I was caught on really from the last milestone, and like you said, I don't think you've even looked at much for this week, so I'm not sure there's much value in digging too far into that. But just the service, the rest service stuff was the biggest pain for me. Even if not to take what you did, but just to see what you did might be interesting. Although I guess it's really not applicable for the next one we decided, since it's not probably OAuth compatible.
Well, and it could be,
Could
but
be.
I think what we're really going to find value in is getting this 8.1 assignment to work, because this has OAuth in it, and I'm assuming that with OAuth there's also some RESTful services going on. And so if I get this working, then we have a working assignment that says, hey, this is exactly how you would do it. Now, of course, I'm going to have the additional challenge of doing things the way I do them, because I do the Java configuration and not, use any of the XML. So I got to figure out how to wire up that mess. But
I feel like the examples we have usually are XML too, but maybe I'm crazy.
yeah, yet the book said.
I mean Java. Yeah,
oh, okay, good.
Weird.
Well, I'll be honest, I haven't looked at the book since week 5.
Oof. I have read just about every chapter I could so far. So one chapter should be done at this month.
What's that now? You're cutting in and out.
No, I was just saying I've been reading it mostly. It helps a little.
I found it to be very wordy and not so helpful, but I want to give it another shot this week.
Well, my thing is that I need my textbook to meet me where I am, and this one doesn't do it. It's so very wordy because it's focusing on an audience who has no experience building a web app whatsoever, and that's, of course, a turnoff for me because I do this all the time. But then when I need them to clearly explain something that is a Java application of some particular concept of building a web app, I feel like I'm presented with one single possibility that would work, and it's usually not very clearly explained. And I'm not one of those that can just copy and paste code and move on with my life. I have to understand why I'm writing the code I'm writing so that I can write good code.
Yeah.
Sending an email to the instructor right now. So,
does it say help?
I just told him I'm seriously struggling, and I just wanted to give positive feedback to everyone that has been helping me, letting him know that all of y'all have really helped, and I told him that yes, I'm behind, but I'm going to try and catch up. After we do this, is there any way we can maybe look back at the last week's assignment?
So for those of us who have forgotten last week's assignment because we honestly can't take any more, what did we do? Was that the search engine? That was us working with.
That was the search engine, yeah.
Okay, what about it? What got you?
I don't know. I can't even talk right now. Let me get into it.
Okay.
What week was that? Week 7?
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, the database stuff. Yeah, the search engine.
All right. So what got you with the search engine? Because I know there's some SQL we had to run, and that, if you followed along with the setup, that should have turned out just fine. I don't think I had to do anything special to get it working, even on my end with my complex little setup.
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't even. This is kind of I skimmed over. This is the first time I'm actually seriously looking. So it's basic. It is easy though, so I probably can figure it out.
It's not awful. I will never refer to anything in this class as easy. Period. Full stop.
I would say it's not half as hard as Milestone 2.
Okay, cool. Okay, well then I probably can figure this out.
Let's see. I feel like there was some software setup for that assignment, but oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. So yeah, that would be the place to start as the software setup, because that if you don't do that, then nothing's going to work. Because it's not just the SQL script, which is almost irrelevant as far as getting a project to build, but you've actually got a couple of changes that you make in the various configuration classes to get your database going. Because of course, all of these examples are using MySQL, and for some odd reason, we're using SQL Server. Don't understand why. I don't understand why we can't just get in where we fit in and use MySQL, but that's just me.
We can't use MySQL?
I mean, we can, but all of the setup docs point us towards using SQL Server.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're using MySQL, for the love of God, continue using it, because it sounds like it works and you're not having to do half the setup that is called for in the setup document.
Yeah, I've always used, when I created databases in my old job and everything, that's what I would use.
MySQL, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you don't have to do any of this stuff in the software setup guide at all, because all of this is converting the project from being MySQL reliant to being SQL Server. So yeah, you can just move straight for the app itself. Which let's see, I don't remember what the requirements were for that. So I'm gonna pop into Blackboard real quick. Let's see here. So we had a short paper on the full text search, whatever. Here we go. Yeah. So once you got the search engine, search engine ready to be built, and you do your Maven install. I'm sorry, run as Maven install. That makes sure that you have all of the dependencies that are called for in the POM file, which you should have, but just in case, do a Maven install. It's one of those completely unnecessary sanity checks. It just makes absolutely sure that everything's there and ready to go. Once you've done that, you should be able to run on server. Actually, let me see if I can run it now.
Okay.
Restart the server.
Okay. So.
There we go. And after that, it's self-explanatory. All you really have to do are you're going to have some screenshots. You're going to do 4 screenshots. And that's really all you have to do for this assignment once you get it up and running. You throw in a bunch of postings in there. So using the different usernames that are in there and titles and bodies and whatnot. Honestly, I filled all mine with quotes from, what was it? I actually want to say it was the Buddha.
Okay.
And then just kind of used keywords that kind of summarized what was in those quotes real quick. I think I made like 6 or 7 forum posts, just fake data to play with. And then I did the 4 searches that he calls for in parts A, B, C, and D. And then just did a screenshot of the results for each of those.
Okay. I mean, I just imported it now.
Okay.
And I'm looking and at it. There's a database, create SQL.
I wonder if it's in. Oh. Hold on. Where are you at? Yeah, the issue has to do with entity mapping. Sorry, I think I may have just figured out my issue while I was talking to you. And that's in the support. It's going to be in source. It's going to be specifically here. I think I saw something about entity mapping. Object mapper. Nope. Maybe I was wrong.
I'm on step 6 on this one, so I'm getting closer.
Cool, cool. That's good. No, I mean, I think it's going to be step 13 where you're either going to sink or swim. I hope you get it.
I agree. I also hope I do. It would be great.
Is this week's assignment easier to do, or is it harder?
This week's assignment, it would be easier if it weren't for this little issue I'm running into.
Okay.
Now, the milestone 3, brace yourself, girl. That's going to be a mess.
Okay.
Yeah, milestone 3 is worrisome to me.
I mean, just one little baby step at a time. The worst case scenario is that at least what you do turn in is working. Now there's a neat little trick that works in programming, especially in programming classes. Please don't ever tell my students this because they might actually get me with it. Instead of trying to get everything working at first, right? So you've got your milestone 2, it's done. Now you're working on milestone 3 stuff. The first thing I would do before I start writing any real code is doing what's called stubbing out the code. So you know, in milestone 3, I'm actually pulling up the requirements. Let's see. So you know you're going to have a RESTful service, and you know it has to use OAuth. So the first thing you're going to start doing is finding ways to stub out essentially just the class files. Just create the class files and to-do items to say like, let's see, to follow their example in the assignment we have for this week, because this is an implementation of OAuth, you would go ahead and create a user authority class, but not put anything in it yet. And then create a user principal class and not put anything in it yet. Just get the little the building blocks together. And the only thing you put inside of those classes are to-do items. They're comments. Show you this neato trick here. If I go / to do, and then figure out where the implementation is, that's a to-do item for me. That's something I want to accomplish. As soon as I have that in there, if I go down here, which apparently that view has gone away. So if I go to Window, Show View, Task List. Okay, it apparently wants to show up over here. Now, usually, let's see here. Where's it at? It's in support. All right, cool. Wow, this is being a lot tougher than I thought it was. Stand by. But basically, there's this trick where you use 2 / and to do, and it will create a task list for you out of these comments. And now I don't know why it's fighting with me right this second. I'll fight with it later, but it's a very easy thing that that Eclipse sets up for you. And funny enough, I started using it as a holdover from what I do at work, which is in .NET, and these two things are fairly comparable. Now, there are plugins that you can put in your Eclipse that make to-do items even easier to keep track of, and I think that might be where things have changed. I recently went through a Windows update, and it kind of fouled everything up. I was fighting with it for about a half an hour before we started.
Mm.
Does anyone use Spring Toolset?
Not me.
No. I keep seeing it pop up, though. I feel like maybe I need to try it out.
This is another option is to install a Spring Toolset it's an editor that is Eclipse based but comes bundled with Tomcat. And it's importing and exporting solutions, and it works flawlessly against built-in Tomcat server. How do you get it?
I honestly don't know. What I do know about it is that I think you can take your existing Eclipse and install that on top of it.
Okay,
Let me see something. If I go to the Eclipse Marketplace and I go Spring Tool, yeah, that's good enough. Spring Tools, right there. So you can actually add it to your existing Eclipse install, which I'm not going to do because I can't take any more change right now. I really just need to get through this class before I develop a really bad drinking habit.
I'm on step 15 right now.
Oh, so you got the login to work.
Yeah, seems to be.
So none of that error crap that I'm getting. I wonder what the difference is. Let me just see something. I have a feeling I know what it is. Hold on. Java compiler. What's my Java build path? All right, it's 1.8. So everything's good there. Oh, never mind that. I did just get good news, though. Apparently, my department chair at the university where I teach wants to give me an easy class next quarter to teach.
There you go.
Yay!
Yeah, it'll be. It's our multimedia 3 class, which is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and just a tiny bit of like user interface design. Which a tiny bit is about all I got for them as far as UI design is concerned. Because if it weren't for Bootstrap or Material Design or Foundation, I wouldn't know what the hell to do with the UI.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not really sure what this project is supposed to be almost, but
What project is that?
the activity for this week.
Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be either. I'm just trying to get it to work at this point.
I think I got it.
Lucky.
It's that BDI, man. It sounds like a joke sometimes, but I've had almost no problems with these assignments at least, so I won't complain.
Yeah, and I just keep refusing to use the VDI, which is probably why I pay so dearly.
Yeah, for these activities especially, at least it makes it pretty easy. Well, usually at least I should say. Maybe not always. So I did the software setup. What does he actually want us to do? Let's see. Clear explanation of the usage of OAuth in RESTful services.
So it looks like the basic item for the activity is to simply prove that it's functioning.
Yep.
Having done that, the next step is to explain how it works. And honestly, it sounds like to me you could probably get away with a generic explanation of how to use OAuth in RESTful services, that's fairly cake.
Yeah.
So let me see here. You're submitting your answers in a Word document. So evidence of a functioning project build would be a screenshot of the project running, or both projects running, I should say. And then an explanation of the usage of OAuth in RESTful services. Honestly, I would just explain OAuth in RESTful services without worrying about the Java context. So you can Google that answer pretty quickly because you're just talking about how you reach out to the server, asking for a token. It sends you back the token. You send the token back with all your requests.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, the last chapter of the book, I think, focuses on it too, so I'll probably end up reading that and get it done, and maybe that will give me some good snippets to use as well, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, now all I need to figure out how to do is just do milestone 3, and I'll be in good shape. Sounds simple.
Heck yeah.
That's
Wait.
all.
Found an issue. Hold on. Where'd it go? This console is useless to me, by the way.
Yeah, I find I usually ignore anything that it yells at in the console.
Hey, not to go back to last week's assignment, but in the rubric, the software setup,
Yep.
is it, what page is this? Do I need to look on the page that says accessing SQL Server databases?
Accessing SQL. Well, no, because you're not using SQL Server. If you're going to use MySQL, then these projects should just go.
Okay.
Like you wouldn't have to even look at the software setup. I'm very glad that the instructor tossed that out there as an opportunity for y'all to use MySQL instead, because SQL Server can be a bear sometimes, and it definitely is a bear in the context of Java. I'm not entirely sure why. All right, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to restart and debug. Let's see if I can get it to give me a full-on like screen pop-up of the error so I can work with it. Because I still can't quite figure out where this. Basically, the issue that I'm having is that parameters passed to a SQL statement have to be annotated with @param in certain versions of Java. Problem is I'm not sure which. I mean, I'm not sure why it's not. I mean, because the error says that it should be for anything less than version 8. Well, I'm running Java 8. Specifically, that's 1.8, but nevertheless, 8. So I'm not sure why it's being such a bear. I'm trying to force the error. Oh, that's strange. You know, I'm running this in debug, and it's not giving me any drama anymore. Let's see. Hold on. So,
Yeah, that one was Steven something.
let's see. Let's see. 13. Steve and Apple. I log in. Oh, well, now it works.
Look at you go.
All right. We'll run with debug. That works for me.
Ooh.
That's new.
You're getting closer.
Yeah. It still triggered an error. And it's still that same one. Daggone it. But that lets me know a little bit more anyway. Let's see here. So support. Okay, so everything happens in support. And come back over here with it. So that comes from the spring jar, so that can't be it. I think there's some sort of configuration item that might be off. Wait. So, hold on. So ticket, where are my repositories? I think I got this. Repository implementation. I wish it would give me a line number or something. I feel like I have to be missing something here. Yeah, I'm at a loss. I may actually have to reach out to the instructor on this one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did anybody else run into this issue?
Yeah, nothing on my end. Mine was surprisingly functional.
Well, wait a second. When you look at the console in your VDI, what version of Java is it running?
Let's see.
Be this line right here where my mouse is.
Yep. I have a JDK 1.8 072.
I'm sorry, what was that you cut out there?
1.8 072.
Okay, so that's not it. Well, it keeps pointing me back to my root context configuration, but that's because there's a scheduler in there for tasks. All right, so caused by. And it's fighting me over Spring Core. Let me add that to my search parameters and see what comes up. I'm just Googling this. I'm not entirely sure why this is being a pain in the butt.
I finally learned how to effectively use debugging in Eclipse.
Like with breakpoints and whatnot?
Yeah. I always struggled getting it to work for whatever reason. And this last weekend for the milestone, I finally got it. And man, is that simple. And I have no idea why I couldn't do that before. But I've seen you do it. And I'm just like, I should be able to do this. This can't be that hard. But getting into that debug view was, for whatever reason, a big challenge for me.
What? Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I just got an email that apparently I'm registered for some sort of eating disorder seminar or something. I'm like, I don't have an eating disorder. I need to quit eating, but that's not the point. By the time you showed up, Jennifer.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Dude, I may drop in and out, but I'll try to keep coming back. I did have a question about week 8. I was working on it before my internet issues, and I was doing it in the VDI. Do I have to do that one in the VDI because I'm still running into the same problems with the errors after I fix the code? Do you have any issues running that locally?
I'm presently having an issue running it locally. Been fighting with it pretty much off and on throughout this entire session so far. Just this one little bug.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I was actually on the phone with Comcast the first 20 minutes of that, and they got me scheduled to the 18th, dude. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So how are you online right now?
My phone.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and mute and let you do what you're doing.
Well, we ain't doing anything important right this second, but
I really don't even know how to mute from my phone.
Actually, I wonder if let's see here. Hold on. This might actually start making some sense here in a second. Do. Public interface, DAO. All right, so whatever repository needs to be tweaked. Let's see if this works. Spring Deck. Sure, we'll run with that. So if I save that, I terminate. Run as, run on server. Finish.
What have you done so far?
Basically, I'm going through the software setup portion.
So all you've done is upload the code, put in the new code. I got to the point where I was changing the names, like just a client and then support.
Yep.
And that's where I started having the problems at. So you've already done all that on this video?
Yeah, I did most of it before the video even started because I really didn't plan on this being part of the discussion yet, because it usually isn't, but turned out to be the biggest question that many of us had, especially since we're catching up. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to work with it.
Okay.
All right, so got a bug. Okay, I can fix this. I can fix this. It's about the mapping. Hold on. Where did that reach out to again? That went to support OAuth. Support OAuth authorize. So that's a controller of some sort. Can't be here. Because that's not mapped correctly, and that's why that wouldn't work. Here. Just a second. I got a cat that has decided to lose its mind. Go away. You. Yeah, sorry. This is not going to be quite as educational as usual, but I'm trying. Okay, so there's the ID. Well,
What I don't understand is why they tell us to change the code and then leave us with it like that.
Oh. Hold on a second. Control F5. There we go. I'm logged in. Support / OAuth. Yeah, I'm very confused. In the client is the support. There's support. Hold on, something here is mapped wrong. How's everybody else coming along?
Obviously, I was able to get it around in the VDI, so I've just been poking around at the code a little bit for the last few minutes. I just switched over to looking at the final project, a rubric, out of curiosity. But
My screen broke, so I'm kind of just listening.
Oh man, what do you mean broke?
So the other day, doing some homework and started just flashing. Just like, I don't really know how to explain it. Just kind of different parts of the screen were appearing in other parts of the screen. And now it's just, there's lines going up and down it. So I can't really use it all too well. But fortunately, I have a laptop at work that I've been using for homework. So my home computer is pretty much complete. I just have to take apart the screen and probably just purchase some new parts and fix it myself.
Are we certain the screen's even jacked?
It's the screen. Yeah, I have it plugged into a second monitor right now. So, I mean, the monitor works, but
Okay.
the laptop screen is busted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I can't figure out where this is. In the support project, which I'm in, there is apparently a path that goes OAuth authorize. So that's a filter. It's a service. Not seeing any controllers. So I'm going to assume it has to be a service of some sort. Oh, God. Somebody built a SOAP endpoint on this as well. Ah. Load by username. Default user service, load by username. Hold on. Yeah, this is where I was fighting before, is this get by username, but I can't find the declaration for it. All I find is the interface. I can't seem to find the actual implementation of it.
I assume you use the search query to look for it, right?
Just Control F, right? Oh, here we go. Even better. Okay, that's weird. So default user service has it. So I guess default user service is trying to, no, it's trying to use it. It's trying to do it. Oh, God bless. All right, so here, let's make life easier. Whole word. Uh-oh. Okay. So I guess this must do something. I'm not sure what it's, where in the heck is this coming from? Like, holy crap. Hold on, I have an idea. So let's go to these servers. Let's debug. Yeah, sure. I wonder. Give me a second. Y'all can't even see the screen. I don't know why I'm talking about it. There's that. Ouch. Some of the biggest problems that I have when I run anything locally is that sometimes to do the things you need it to do, you have to run Eclipse as administrator, which is really strange.
Yeah.
Absent line number. What? I can't even with this. All right, I'm getting too frustrated. What else y'all got?
Did he say he got it working?
In the VDI, yes.
Oh, can
Yeah.
he not, even though his screen is busted, can he share screen? Will it show what's on his screen that he can't see?
Oh, I think that was,
Yeah, different people on it.
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I could share my screen, but I don't know how helpful it would or wouldn't be. It was a little tricky getting the two things to run at the same time. But past that, I literally just did what the software setup said. It's already 8.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have nothing but trouble out of Eclipse. I don't even know why I try to do this locally.
You should really go to the VDA and give it a shot. Worst case, it still doesn't work. But best case, you might get an
Okay.
override.
Fine. I'm going to suck it up and go to the VDI. Stand by. Because I don't have time to fight with this much longer either, so.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have the stuff installed on here to do VDI.
I don't think you really have to install anything. It's been a while since the beginning of the course, so I could be forgetting it. But I feel like everything was pretty much good to go. Look at the software setup real quick.
Sure. How well does copy and paste work between?
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's.
Now, I found out the cutoff of the Lawrence Wade Journalism Fellowship application is March 1st, so we have.
You know, I've never done anything in here though.
Yeah, I think there's only a little bit of additional setup, and I don't know how much it really is. But in that first piece of the software setup guide, they talk a little bit about setting up. I think just a default JRE and maybe a directory or two, but for the most part, it is otherwise set up. So if you've done literally nothing, you might have a few extra steps, I guess.
Yeah, I've not even logged into it, period. Never been forced to deal with that.
Finally giving in.
I'm baffled by this. I don't understand why I can't find the implementation of this daggone user repository interface.
Mm.
No, it extends the CRUD repository. Oh yeah, then no, that's gonna be too much work. Had to re-import the thing and do all the changes in the setup guide again. No, I'm good.
Yeah, you definitely have to go through again for the most part. I guess you could email yourself the copy or put it in the cloud or something, but I'm not sure to be much faster.
Let me just close out all these and start over. Okay.
I mean, if you have the same success I did with the VDI, it's probably still worth your effort at some point, I would guess. But
I'm gonna give running it local one more shot and see what I can come up with. Worst case scenario, sometime tomorrow, I'll lose my mind and get in there and redo everything. Okay, where am I supposed to be logging in? Maybe that's part of my issue.
You want to log in on the client first.
I'm going to log in the client first.
Not the support.
Okay. Well, part of the problem I'm having is that the mapping is a little off. I'm noticing that. Let me see here. Let me try something. So it's not customer support that I need. It's I can't type. All right, sweet. So
That's your Steve Apple.
and that worked,
Yep. It's this part where you're getting caught.
and that's because of a map. It's a mapping issue. It looks like because it's going to support, but support doesn't do that. The path is wrong. You see what I mean? So that's what I got to figure out. Support, I need the URL for it. Like the base URL for it when it goes out there. What sets that?
Yeah, not sure what you're running into. However, I am going to head out. I have to jump a little earlier today, but
Okay.
good luck with it.
I'm actually in the same boat. I actually have to head out as well.
Fair enough. Well, if y'all need to bounce, go for it. I'll holler at y'all later.
All right.
Talk to you
Thanks
guys
a
later.
lot, Aaron.
All right, y'all take care.
Bye-bye.
So you're stuck with the 2 gens.
I'll take it.
Hey, I had a question for you. When it says to run each one separately, we're running each one separately, but are they supposed to work together somehow?
They do, and as you go a little further into the software setup, it'll tell you exactly how to make that happen.
To run them together?
Yep.
Okay, see, I ain't got that far yet. I got to putting the setup code in and getting my errors, and that was about it. I never got to this screen right here. Now, last week I did, and then the new thing, like I said, I got to changing the names, and then I went to run it, and I never did get it to run. And then I tried doing the create the SQL file. Is that mandatory? Is that what we're having to do, is create the SQL file every time?
Yeah. I mean, the other option is to use MySQL instead, but at this point in the game, that's more
I just
problem than
can't.
it's worth. Yeah.
What I ran into was when I was in the command prompt creating the SQL file. There, I ran into a problem with where it was located. It was like CD, workspace, and because it's not named the same as on the thing, I had to go find it, and it's like module 8, and I got it to come up, but it was waiting on the next command, and I put the SQL CMD, and I put that command in, and that's where it kind of failed every time. So I don't know what I was doing wrong in that instance. Is there any way to name it so that I know where it's at instead of trying to pull it? Because, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it would be like module 8, and then it would be like slash database. Would it have been slash database every time? Or is it just exactly how it's listed in my file folder?
I hate to say I don't know where you're at with that. Try me again.
Okay, mine was like, okay, when you enter in the CD workspace slash whatever it says slash support or whatever slash database. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mine comes up as like module 8, module 8. It has 2 module 8s, and I didn't know if I was supposed to do like slash database or not.
Yeah. So here's the deal, though. You're making it too hard on yourself by trying to run it from the command line like the setup tells you to do.
Okay.
Remember how you and I set up your development environment so you can connect directly to your database? I feel like we did that.
I'm not sure. Over there in the SQL,
And so we went to Data Source Explorer, and you could see your database running there.
I don't remember. Are you sure we did that?
I feel like we did,
Database Explorer.
but I mean, realistically speaking, my brain's also a little fried from trying to do too much. So
We may have, but you know, I'm right there in the same boat with you. I'm just kind of lost. There was a lot of things that we did do that I can't remember to tell you how we did it or what we did. Um, I don't even know what the Database Explorer is. Like my file folder?
no. Down here in Eclipse.
How do you? Oh, I see what you're showing me on the window there. So go to Data Source Explorer.
Yeah, and you should have your database there. If you don't, then that's fine. I'm just
Okay.
curious.
Well, the way I did it the previous week was he kind of ran my commands and he did it so fast and he did so many extra stuff to get it
Yeah.
to run
Yeah.
on his own without explaining anything or slowing down that I don't know how he got it to run, but whatever he did in my command prompts fixed every issue I had with last week's issue with the 404 and the 505 errors that I was having.
That's
And
nice.
then I know, but it's nice that he fixed it for me, but it's not nice that I can't fix it for myself.
Yeah, and
So I went in thinking that I was trying to do it the same way kind of that he did. I went and figured out where the file folder was, and I wrote it down exactly as that said in the command prompt, you know, because I was trying to be smart about it, and I didn't know if it had to be slash database every time or what. But anyway, somehow or another, I did get it to come up again, and it was it kind of copied what I said, like it was waiting on a prompt. And then I got to the SQL CMD file where I put that in, and it didn't want to accept it. So I know it's in what I'm writing there, but is there a way to change that to where I can find it easier or it writes out easier where I know I'm in the right spot?
no, I mean the best bet if you're not able to get to your database from Eclipse is just to grab everything out of it once you've made the changes and go
Yeah.
into SQL Server Management Studio and run it, which you can do in the VDI or locally. Which, I mean, if you've been operating on the VDI lately, or if he's set you up at home,
Just the last class, yeah, the VDI. I'd rather be local. I was going to, my next step was to try it locally, but with the intermittent internet stuff going on, I haven't been able to really get on there. I didn't want to deal with the frustrations of it keep dropping me and everything else. So I haven't had a chance to try it locally. But what you're putting into the command prompt shouldn't be any different than what I'm putting into the command prompt, really.
I'm
If
not
we're
putting anything
downloading the
into
code.
it. I'm not putting anything into a command prompt though. That's just it.
So you're not creating your SQL file with the command prompt.
No, I'm doing this. So I'm going to the SQL file, right? And I'm
Okay.
making whatever changes needs to be there, right? And then I'm going straight here to execute SQL files, and it's running against my database for me.
So you don't have to do it in the command prompt.
Not if you have your database set up in the same set up correctly, which is what I was talking about with the Data Source Explorer. Now,
Okay.
if you want to skip the command prompt altogether and you don't have things set up correctly, then you can just grab whatever is in that SQL file, copy it, and then in the VDI, I know they've got SQL Server Management Studio installed.
Yeah.
Literally, you just come in here, hit new query, drop it in there.
New query. Copy it and paste it into, okay. And that would be the create.sql. Just drop it right in there.
Yep.
And then come back over to it.
And then when they tell you to execute it, just go back into SQL Server Management Studio, hit execute, and it'll fire off, which I'm not going to do that here, but.
Okay. I'll try that. that's where I was just getting stopped at. I'm hoping that I can get that resolved when I can get back on the internet.
Yep. I feel you.
Well, I'm still very, very far behind.
Where are you at, Jen?
I still need to do last week's assignments.
Oh, wow.
So, but
Have you started on them?
yeah, I'm starting on them now.
Oh, you hadn't really got into hitting any errors or anything like that. You just have to get started.
Yeah, I'm just, and now I'm like stuck. But I'm just
On
gonna.
on the root contents file, make sure that when that error comes up to import the string or whatever it is, to hit that first option to fix it, to import it, and that'll solve some errors. You'll see it when it pops up.
Okay. Let me just,
Hold on. I got to make a change. Then I should be able to tab out of it, and that should save it. And then I log in with the OAuth client first. Log in. It says everything is good. I click that. Oh, okie dokie. So why did you? I'm still very confused. Why did it send me there? It wants me to go to client/support, which sends me to the support login. Hold on. We might actually have made progress here. Let's see. Let's see. Clicking on that will take you to the login for the support project. Enter one of the credentials, Nicholas password. There we go. We might have actually made some progress here. I don't know how I did it. Well, hell yes.
Did that have anything to do with what you did just now in the SQL?
No.
Well, what do you think you did?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Tickets from the web service. Okay. Oh, well, sweet. Okay. Then I'm here. I'm not sure how I'm here, but I'm here. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because this don't even look like it's not the error that I'm getting in Eclipse doesn't strike me as a breakable error, right? Like one of those that breaks your code. So I think everything's okay. Let me clear the console and see what comes up here in a minute. Wait a second. So if I go back one. Okay, and when I click on that, it sends me here. Which I don't have any tickets from the web service, but that's cool, I guess. Sweet. Cool. I'll finish this up later then. So.
Quick rundown from front to back.
Of.
load it, put in the setup instructions.
Yep. So all I've done is I renamed those folders, made the changes in the POM file that I was supposed to, imported both of those projects, the client and the server, or the client and the support rather. Ow. Let's see. Made the changes to the SQL file and executed them against my SQL Server database. Fought with an error that apparently means nothing for about an hour and 20 minutes. Things worked. I wish the boys could be on here now talking about VDI.
Hate the VDI. But when you changed the names, was there anything else that you had to change besides just the names? Like, I went to, you right click on it and you go to refactor and it says rename. And you
I didn't
change the name there, and then you change it in the the POM file or whatever, right? The artifact ID, the part that says that. I know where it's at, but I'm not looking at it. I can't tell you, but you change it there and change it.
So it's better, honestly, to start by, if you already have those, the client and the support imported, go ahead and delete them sorry, I got to slow down so I can give you the right words. Delete
Eclipse.
them from Eclipse.
So we're going to download them in Module 8. So download them and then delete those two files.
No. So download them. All right.
Yeah.
So let me go to my downloads folder. What the suggestion was for, as far as the instructions were concerned, is go into the stuff you downloaded. Rename the OAuth client folder to just client. Rename the customer support V21 to just support.
Okay.
Then you'll go into each one of these, and you'll open up the POM file and change the artifact ID from OAuth client to client, and then from customer support to just simply support. Once you've done that, then import them into Eclipse.
Okay, yeah, that makes it probably a lot easier than trying to do it inside Eclipse.
COPD makes it hard to breathe. So to breathe better, I go with a norm.
And then once you've got all that up and running,
Whoops.
uh-oh.
So it wasn't working when you were using your own username and password. It only started working when you used their provided username and password, or what?
Right, and I was never using mine. It just auto fills out with mine.
Okay.
Because I'm in Chrome, so it's like, yeah, I'm going to use. Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. It's like I'm going to use the, what we know to be your username and password for everything.
Right. See, I've got a little live yellow button right over that area right there. I couldn't see what was going in the login screen.
So I'm going to see if I can redo this.
Okay.
So here's this. So here I logged in with Steve and then Apple. Of course, now it's failing. Did I kill the server? No?
Steve and Apple?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me go.
And that's okay.
Oh, shit. It won't let me log out of it, so let me use a different browser. All right, Microsoft Edge. All right, so what I do is I go here. All right, and then I log in with Steve as the username, Apple as the password, and that logs me in. And then once I'm logged in here, this is the client. So then I log in by going to, I do the click here, which I'm going to open it up in a new tab. And now it takes me to the customer support login. And for this one, the username is Nicholas. The password is password. When I hit log in, Oh, now it's telling me it's incorrect. Are you serious?
Try Steve and Apple.
Yeah, it should be it. Yeah, it should be. I don't know why it's failing. I got errors coming up, but it worked for a minute there, daggone it. Well, so ultimately you log in.
Password already somewhere else. Is there another one that you could try?
Not to the best of my knowledge, no.
Or was there Mike or Sarah or anything? I don't know what the instructions said now. I mean, I'm not looking at them.
Yes, and I'm not either at this point. I'm just trying to get this thing to work. Let me see. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, so anyway, having done all that, we ultimately end up here. There's actually a step that goes beyond that, but I'm not sure why it's being a pain in the butt. There we go. There's supposed to be a thing up here that asks you if you want to allow a connection, and you're supposed to approve it, and that's step 15. That's the end of the setup for it. And at that point, once you've done that, all you're doing is you're explaining, showing that it works.
Excuse me.
And then sorry, you're showing that it works by giving him like a screenshot and then just moving on. Sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once here. But yeah, so giving him a screenshot that shows it works and then explaining why it works, which would be kind of a bear, but sure.
So what that's basically doing is it, like it says, it's authorization. It's allowing another step that lets the user authorize themselves. Like if you were to go to a website, I go to like, because we vape, we have to go to the vape site, and you have to be at least 18 years or older. It's kind of like that step where it's authorizing you to continue, right?
Sorta. So what's happening here is you've got a piece of software, the customer support piece of software, right? And then you've got what's called an OAuth client. And what a client is a client is something that simply consumes a service. In this case, the OAuth client is a separate website, a separate piece of software that once you log into it, you can then connect to the customer support site using a RESTful service that's authenticated using OAuth 2, so that your OAuth client site can send information directly over to the customer support site. As opposed to you having to go directly to the customer support site, you can do it from the client site instead. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sounds like a bunch of runaround, though.
Oh, it totally is. It's basically meant to help you. Sorry, I'm doing two things once again. It's meant to help you secure your website. so that not only are your users very well authenticated, but it also allows you to allow other websites and other things like phone apps and whatnot make changes to the data in your website. That's what that RESTful service is all about.
It allows them to make changes?
Yeah, so like from this client, if the code were written, I would be able to like create a ticket in the client and then send it over to this whole other application. So that's the key right here, is that this client that I logged into with Steve and Apple, it's an entirely different website. So it can be running on an entirely different server completely across the globe. Or it could be running on my phone as a phone app instead. So like, you know how you do, all right, so you know how you make updates to your Facebook from your phone? Same principle applies. You're using a phone application and authenticating against it to then send data from your Facebook, from your mobile app over to Facebook proper, right? The big Facebook site. The same thing happens when you use
your desktop site. It's the difference of using your app against the desktop site.
That's the best way to put it, yeah.
Huh.
What I'm doing right now is just creating a test ticket, and of course it's going to fail. Why? Yeah, you know, I don't know that I care either. So yeah, there's that. I might have to spend a lot of time on building a RESTful service with OAuth. That's kind of a bear. Then again, I think for our milestone, we might actually be able to get away with doing OAuth authentication against someone else's RESTful service, but I'm not entirely certain, so we probably want to ask the instructor on that.
Was there anything extra that you had to do besides the setup thing and get it to run? I mean, is it supposed to just run as is, or did you have to, you know, go in and, I mean, I know you had those issues, but if you hadn't had, say that was a local issue, is it supposed to just run once you change it, everything?
Yeah, I mean, once you do the create.sql, it should run, and it should do everything that I've tried to make this thing do and keep failing. So yeah, so if you get it up and running, then all you have to do is prove that it's up and running. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So like this is how
I was just wondering, because I know
how I'm proving it.
Your screenshots.
Yep. And then I have to explain what happened there, like why that, why we even did this assignment. So what is OAuth and how do you use it with a RESTful service?
And what assignment is this one? 8.1 or 8.2?
8.1. 8.1. 8.2 is milestone 3.
Oh my God. And that's where we're going to send them a zip file.
Yep. And milestone 3 is a bear. Like, I don't even want to look at it right now.
And that's where we're going to actually be creating RESTful and
yep, RESTful services with OAuth. Now, I think that there's we can probably get away with using someone else's RESTful service with OAuth, but talk to the instructor just to be certain.
That would be in the code that we've been working on, the customer service code, right? The plane tickets.
Yeah,
So we're just building on that.
Turn in for milestone 2, you're adding to it.
Well, I hope Jason's got something ready.
No doubt.
He's been telling it. I mean, I don't know if he's told y'all or anything, but I mean, he just tells me just use Jason's code.
So I should probably stop broadcasting now.
Oh, my bad.
No worries. Give me a second.